to get this one going. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Irish offense will take the field to start this game. There are always butterflies to start a game, but when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Brown will throw it. It's complete on the right side. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that will be plenty for the first down.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
There he goes. And they exploited that soft spot, and they get it down to the 35.
Defensively, you'll take the slow death. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run the guys, and get them on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
The Cardinal might go right back to that ground game after the huge run. To the air on first down. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. Inside the 15. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score.
Well, you're seeing the balance this offense has and how they can create explosive plays in a variety of ways. We just saw one come in the run game, and now you see one coming in the passing game. I'll tell you, they've got this defense on their heels.
Stanford gets set to snap it on first down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Brown wants to pass. He caught it. They will score. Touchdown, Stanford. The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. It's complete to the left. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
This receiver is such a weapon, and he has so much speed, and he can generate explosive plays for your offense, not just running go routes and post routes, but how about throwing him the drag, letting him catch it, and use his speed to turn it upfield.
And he showed himself to be a regular Spinderella, but not a lot of room to run. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time and late in the season.
Second down, he'll throw it. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
And that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
Puts it out of the air. Just what they'd hoped for on third down as they've got a first at the 32. Pass completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Brown will throw it. Got a man. It's Porter. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Stanford now has it in the red zone. On the move, it's Gray. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
This conversion and go to work with a first and goal. They'll try to drive ahead on third and short. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Cardinal!
This is...
They take over late and have enough time to put together a drive. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Looking to scramble. Fires the pass. Intercepted.
Well, he started rolling to his...
Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The play action fake. Looking for an open area to his left. Finds his man. It's Gray. They'll spot the ball at the 34 as he goes out of bounds right there. The Cardinal can be aggressive here on second and short. Brown wants to pass. Here's a heat. Almost had the pick there. Would have been his second of the game. Instead, it brings up third down.
Man, if he doesn't drop it, there's 2 picks and 2 consecutive drives. He was in a great position to make another play. Just couldn't secure the catch.
They'll throw on third and short. It's on target and complete. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. If you're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Looking for the end zone. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Gets it down to the 13. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. I imagine we'll see them go right back to work up top after how productive that passing game was in the first half.
And it's interesting. If I'm the defense and I've got the lead, they've had success throwing the football, but we're winning. I don't know that this defense changes too much of what they've done in the first half.
I think they got to do a better job with pass rush. They might want to change their coverages as well because they're probably at this point expecting this offense to have to keep throwing, considering they did have success in the first half.
He wants to throw it. Looking left. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
And that can be frustrating to watch running backs not make plays like a receiver, but they're not a receiver. And a lot of times when they have the guys around them, the focus that receivers have it doesn't exist in them. And you could tell just dropped the football, lost a little bit of focus, but I think those footsteps were close enough where he heard it.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that one.
You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on third down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. The Cardinal will have to boot it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He was hoping for a little more running. The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
Well, we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Stanford with a lot of options here on second and short. They'll leave it with him. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Touchdown, Stanford! Brown will throw it. Unloads to the wideout. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
Well, on that last play, you'd like to see the quarterback be a little bit more accurate, give his guy a chance to make the play. That ball wasn't even close to his intended target's body.
Second down, they'll go to the air. That's caught. It's Gray. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Stanford to the line on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Smith. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Man, oh man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have any.
Got his man quickly. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
It's really nice to be a quarterback in today's football when running backs are basically wide receivers. Not only can you split them out, you keep them at running back, nothing open, I dump it to him. Look at that. He makes a big play for me.
Finds his man. It's Porter. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. Guys, we've come to the end of the quarter, and Notre Dame has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. So the final period starts with a second down play. They'll go to the ground. Finds a crease at the 20. Touchdown, Cardinal! They've got the lead here in the fourth. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. Things have not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Keeps looking downfield. He'll pull it down. He'll get it across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 32 as this offense is trying to do some work.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I'll tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
Well, I think on that play you saw why this guy's such a big weapon in this offense. At receiver, he does such a nice job with his routes. He's patient, and he's consistent, and he's got good hands. You don't see him put a lot of balls on the ground. Nice job there picking up the first down.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And everyone needs to have their packages. When they go 5 wide and they spread you wide, what's your answers? And I like the defense right here, bringing pressure, getting to the quarterback, and hitting him as he throws the football.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. These fans stepping up to help this defense on third down. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble but couldn't create anything there.
Offenses know and work on it all week. Third downs. We got to be really, really good. This offense not good on this third down. It could come.
Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. This Stanford offense moving quickly down the field. Brown wants to pass. Quick completion on the out.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw on that out route.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. The Cardinal can be aggressive here on second and short. On the move. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
That's a really good stop by the defense. Jesse, they need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is the point where this defense has just got to lock in.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on fourth down. He'll take it himself. Oh, he's got some space. Picks up enough to give them first and 10 from the 11.
Man, on 4th and 2, I'm looking at my offensive line. I'm like, you got to give me just a little slither. Great job by the offensive line, blocking up just enough to get the first down, running physically downhill. That's all you want on those 4th and 2 situations.
Wants to go up top on first down. Firing to the right, complete. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Man, this is such a hard situation. That clock is your enemy, and you've got to push the ball down the field, but you know the defense is dropping back, so you can take the underneath stuff and go to your second and third read some, but we've got to stay aggressive.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And you got to use a timeout right now after that run play. You've got 3 in your back pocket. You can't take them with you. You're losing this game right now, so take all the time you can to make sure that your quarterback and your head coach and play caller are all on the same page.
He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Timeout is called, and the clock is down to 8. Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Touchdown, Stanford! And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
Now, you talk about finishing games with a purpose, with a plan, executed to perfection, taking almost all of the clock, executing brilliantly down the stretch of this football game, making plays, and
Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, 2 really good teams, and that's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Palmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. 2 ranked opponents evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
That will put the wrap on things from here.